further. And I'd love to know how many flats there are on the site. I mean, I should imagine it's a good 1,000 at least. At least. I haven't looked at any prices down there because, surprisingly, flats there don't seem to come up very often for sale. Whereas there's other bits of Richmond where flats do come up for sale, like on Richmond Hill and places like that. But, you know, down on what was formerly the ice rink, not at all. Chris Lowry over with Steve in España says we have a Poundland in Spain. They're branded as deals, but we can get British products in there. You see,
take the next left onto Harlington Road West A312.
Because if I need to send anything to somebody, it has sweets and cakes and milk and ice cream and sausages and sandwiches, clothes and garden stuff, and generally speaking a lot of tact. But it has things that...
continue on A312 for half a mile.
Amazing value every day. It's expanded into Spain. And they do everything. They do, you know, sweeties, loads of sweeties, good for sort of kids and stuff like that. They do makeup. They do a lot of look-alike products as well. You know, a lot of look-alike products. But but the Jiffy bags I go in for because you get, I think, 6 Jiffy bags or 5 for £1. And it's a lot cheaper than anywhere else. And if I need to send something to my brother or something like that, a Jiffy bag is ideal. Always add extra sellotape, just in case. Talking of brass bands, says Zach, did you ever go to the Royal Tournament at Earl's Court? Yeah, remember it when it finished? I had to go backstage because I was an accredited journalist. And I had a little thing. I didn't have to jump any queues at all. The journalists had a special entrance, and we went in the side, and we got taken backstage, and there were all bars there. All bars and everything else, which was great, actually. Dad was in the Royal Hong Kong Police and was big on military parades and bands. He used to take us, and when I first saw the Queen in her Rolls Royce circa 1993. There you go. And Lewis says, Steve, Aunt Bessie's are disgusting. Homemade is better. No, Aunt Bessie's are delicious. Or failing that, just the ready-made ones from Marks and Spencer's or any of the supermarkets, which is good. Steve, I love your show. Why don't you come for a holiday in North Wales if you have the time? We run a small B&B. Oh, I couldn't stay anywhere small. It would have to be big, I'm afraid. And P.S. English, not my first language. That'll make it difficult then, won't it? We'll have a bit of trouble with that one, but I'm sure we could cope. North Wales.
In 300 yards, slide right onto Causeway A312.
He was doing Welsh the other day, Rob Brydon. He was talking to somebody on the television, and of course nobody knew, because he didn't do the translation, he just did Welsh, and it's such a lovely language. My neighbour Lynn is Welsh, and she speaks the language very well indeed, as indeed you would expect.
Take the next right onto Causeway A312.
30, give or take a few seconds. Here's Simon Conway.
The Chancellor will promise a new era for Britain when he sets out the government's approach to the economy this week.
Continue on A312 for 1 mile.
He will announce tens of billions of pounds of tax cuts and increased spending to try to drive growth. He'll reveal how he plans to pay for the cap on energy bills. Referendums on becoming part of Russia are being held in 4 areas of Ukraine occupied by Moscow. Western leaders say the votes are a sham and have no legitimacy. One of the 5 British men freed from captivity by Russian-backed forces has said Roman Abramovich played a key part in their release. John Harding says the former Chelsea owner, who was sanctioned by the UK following the invasion of Ukraine, welcomed them on their flight home this week. LBC weather, outbreaks of rain in the southeast and East Anglia, which could be heavy in places. Sunny spells elsewhere, with a few showers mainly in the northwest. A high of 20 degrees.
LBC, Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
Coming up in half an hour with Nick Ferrari at breakfast as the Chancellor prepares to deliver his highly anticipated fiscal event. Nick will be joined by Levelling Up Secretary Simon Clarke to assess the government's proposals and ask if the lifting of the fracking ban is really in the national interest. He'll also analyse the continued pressure faced by consumers with the former Marks and Spencer's chairman, Lord Burns, and an LBC exclusive on the shocking conditions faced by some Afghan asylum seekers in taxpayer-funded hotels. All of that and more with Nick Ferrari at breakfast this morning from 7 here on LBC.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast, weekday mornings from 7. LBC.
I love looking at your skyline on my way to work. Nights out that end with kebabs for breakfast. Seeing priceless art but paying no price at all. Lazy Sundays in the park. And meeting different people who've made this place their home. Because London, I love you. Discover free activities. Search Make a Date with London.
I'm Julius Caesar, an emperor, not a tradesperson. But if I was, I'd be on Checkatrade. 8 out of 10 homeowners surveyed would choose a tradesperson from Checkatrade over one that isn't. And they guarantee your work for a year. So apply today. Up to £1,000, T's and C's apply.
Walt Disney World Resort Florida is the dream family holiday. So make it a reality with British Airways Holidays. Book your magical Disney adventure with a low deposit with British Airways Holidays. Plus, if you book by the 29th of September, you'll get up to $1,200 in dining and shopping credit, along with 14 days for the price of 7 Magic Park tickets. Book today at ba.com/Disney. At or protected. Terms and conditions apply.
What to tackle first? Raging inflation, lower taxation, Putin's invasion, or Carrie's decoration? If you want clarity about what matters, try The Week magazine. Skillfully edited from over 200 UK and
In a quarter of a mile, at Wagoners Roundabout, take the second exit onto the Parkway, A312.
Try The Week with 6 issues free. Then auto renews from $38.99 a quarter. Cancel anytime. Search The Week free.
If your dentures or loose and missing teeth make it hard to eat, or make you self-conscious about your smile, TDC Smiling a Day dental implants could be the solution for you.
I smile, I am a lot more confident, I don't have to talk with my hand over my mouth. If I'd have known the outcome and how it would have changed me, I just wish I'd gone to TDC years ago.
Let TDC restore your teeth, your smile, and your confidence. Book your consultation. Visit smilingaday.co.uk or call TDC Holly Street on 0203 7334 986.
This is LBC with Steve Allen.
26 minutes to 7 if you've just joined us. It's Steve Allen's Early Breakfast on LBC with you till 7 when Nick Ferrari and team will be here with another programme full of all the things you want to talk about.
Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway.
We've got our Make Some Noise tech.
Continue on the Parkway for 1 mile.
They call it the ultimate tech bundle. I have to check with my friend Will as to whether or not it would be. He endorsed it as Elton goes for that. The ultimate tech bundle. It's your chance to win everything I'm going to tell you about. A brand new Apple iPhone 14, the latest iPhone just released, an Apple iPad Air, an Apple Watch Series 7, a pair of Apple AirPods Pro, the Bluetooth headphones, a Meta Quest 2, an all-in-one virtual reality headset with controllers, a 43-inch Samsung 4K Ultra HD smart television, a Samsung Galaxy Book 2 laptop, a Sonos One smart speaker, and an Amazon Kindle Paperwhite. It's quite a lot, all of it worth a lot of money. And for your chance to win every single one of those fantastic items, all you need to do is get your telephone and text the word tech, which is TECH, and send it to 84850. TECH, and send it to 84850. A voluntary donation of just £5 from every text supports Global's Make Some Noise. We've got until midday on Friday the 7th of October, just around the corner, to enter. Keep the phone handy because we'll be calling you. Standard network rate supply, you need to be 18 or over. To see the list of participating Global stations and full terms and conditions, go to makesomenoise.com. So text the word tech, TECH, and send it to 84850. If you don't text the right word, tech,
In a quarter of a mile, at Cranford Parkway Interchange, take the second exit onto the M4 Slip Road to Heathrow Airport, M25.
lovely prize. When my children were very young, says Gillen Island, they skated seriously at Streatham Ice Rink. I used to go there as well. When the rink closed for refurbishment, Richmond very kindly offered us time in their rink. This time they offered us, or the time they offered was 11 p.m. till 1 a.m. She said, very tiring for the children, but we're very grateful. Many happy memories of Richmond. It was lovely. There used to be, when I first started working there, there used to be an old palace on the front next to the bridge, and then they sort of landscaped it and put in all sorts of modern buildings. Paul says cooked and mashed carrots and swede is very nice. M&S do it actually, I think. Yeah, they sell prunes, but I don't want those either, thank you very much. The ice ice rink in Streatham High Road opened in 1931. They're still going strong, says Ian. Yes, I remember that journey. God, that was a journey and a half coming from where we were.
Exit the roundabout onto the slip road.
No.
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M4.
Saturday nights and the ice rink, so it was an opportunity for people to sort of dance and skate and all the rest. I was hopeless. I could do a straight line. I just couldn't turn corners. So I was the one going, I was like Todd Carty. When you saw him on the street, I was like that, sailing off into the wings all by myself. It was a bit embarrassing, actually. What's this story here? PayPal have pulled the plug on 2 more lockdown critic groups. They've been accused of blatant political discrimination after closing 2 more accounts belonging to anti-lockdown campaigners. I don't know enough about this, actually. Us for Them, a Greenwich campaign to keep schools open.
Continue on M4 for 3 miles.
That its PayPal account containing thousands of pounds have been terminated. Your PayPal accounts contain money then? Mine doesn't. You pay on PayPal and it's linked to my account and they take money. I didn't know it's sort of they hold the money for people. I didn't know that. So I didn't put money in, no. They just say you click on that and then it pops up on my telephone that they've taken the money. I've got a choice of accounts. So I've got the option to put money into PayPal. No, well I don't do that, but anyway, they've got thousands of pounds. And the same message was sent to Law or Fiction, the group of lawyers against lockdown, who described the move as a blatant assault on the free speech as practiced in China. It comes after PayPal shut down accounts belonging to free speech campaigner Toby Young, including even more complicated than I imagined. So the move has prompted backlash from PayPal users, as hundreds took to social media boycotting the company and cancelling their accounts as a sign of solidarity. You see, as far as I'm concerned, I just look at it as a safe way of buying something and putting this on PayPal. If I have a dispute with something, I go back to PayPal and they sort it out for me. I didn't know people had money there. Jack D, the comedian, tweeted, "I'm in the process of cancelling my PayPal account. Big tech companies that feel they can bully people for questioning mainstream group think don't deserve anyone's business." It's on a different part of PayPal, I think. It just puts up a thing on there, and we're taking the money out of this account. I don't put money into it. There's no money in PayPal as far as I'm concerned. I think I'm doing what I'm doing now, and I'm doing it right, actually, which is much better. What do we have? Oh, the 3 walkouts to hit the trains in the first week of October. This is the RMT again. There'll be 3 walkouts. The RMT said 40,000 of its members at Network Rail and 15 train operators would strike. I mean, I have to be honest, they've had loads of them so far, and it's had no effect at all. No effect at all. People are still going about their business. They've had an offer, but they've rejected it. So Nick Lynch, I think, is on Michael Lynch, on Have I Got News for Tonight. And he's, have I got news for you? But he's only on there because he's Nick Lynch with the RMT. He's not on there because he's witty, funny, or educated. He's on there because he's a member of the union.
In half a mile, keep right to stay on M4.
He's put himself up for it, but then again, he quite likes the publicity. Interesting. Steve, I'm delivering in Camden at the moment, says Kevin the Milkman, and it's just started chucking it down. Did you remember your brolly? I did. Producers get it. So right. Not raining here.
Keep right to stay on M4.
Happy weekend to you, the team, the original spikers, all the old milkmen on our Facebook page. Says Kevin. Thank you very much indeed. I hope he's going to be.
Continue on M4 for 2 miles.
Not thinking they're going to be good. I start very optimistically, thinking it's going to be a nice weekend. Pete the pool man, he says, I'm having a sauna today. Any closer could be embarrassing. I've run 20 miles in the last 3 days, so I'm taking it easy. This gymnasium is up. It's tucked away in the trees at the top of Esher. 100 quid for 8 weeks. Amazing value. No pool, no hot tub. Interesting. I quite like saunas, actually. But it's just the fact that you're with other people in them. But £100 for 8 weeks. So that's 2 months, isn't it? £12.50 a week. That's quite a lot. Is it not? Oh, right, okay. It's only because around our way, it's about 25 quid a month, I think, for pure gym. which was one of those great radio comedies with Kenneth Hall assisted and abetted by Betty Marsden, Hugh Paddock, Bill Pertwee and Kenneth Williams. They've just brought out an 11 CD collection, Series 3, and it's 25 quid. It's a special offer. I might actually buy it because they've got loads of the other ones as well, including the Goons, the Navy Lark, Victoria Wood, Dad's Army, loads of these, because I love these sort of things. The CD collection, I have got lots of this sort of stuff. But do you ever hear Round the Horn? You should hear it. It's very funny. Betty Marsden and Hugh Paddock, written by Barry Took and Marty Feldman. They used to write.
In a quarter of a mile, keep right to stay on M4.
An 11 CD collection, and you also get Rambling Sid Rumpo, the musical called Wangler, Fiona and Charles, the passionate duo, J. Peasmold Grundfuttock, which they're all played by Kenneth Williams, and Julian.
Keep right to stay on M4.
Who would turn their hand to anything, and they used to run agencies and stuff like that. I think they might have to be added to the Steve Allen collection. All the pictures of the so-called Arthur's Castle in danger of falling into the sea. I mean, it's built on rock, for goodness sake. Not going to fall into the sea anytime soon. Although, apparently English Heritage have said it's quite alarming, rising sea levels. You know, it's not going to get this high, otherwise we're all going to... They chip away at the cliff in Southampton, apparently. Colshot Castle, also built by Henry VIII, is battling erosion. Well, of course it is. It was built by Henry VIII. Most of anything that Henry VIII touched is battling erosion. But this has got the 230-foot cantilevered steel footbridge that it could crumble into the sea. They don't know what. They've now launched a multi-million-pound appeal to protect it. Doing what? Multi-million-pound appeal. Where are we supposed to get the money from? Heavens above. Among other fortresses at risk, Bayard's Cove Fort near Dartmouth in Devon, defending the Dark Estuary. On the St Mary's in the Scilly Isles, the Elizabethan garrison walls are at risk. And at Hurst Castle in Hampshire, built by Henry VIII, he just built castles. Built castles and killed women. But apparently it collapsed the east wing in February last year after the sea undercut its foundations. So there you go. But there is one in Cumbria actually, 14th century, guarded by Inverness. It's called Pyle Castle, and it also saved us from pirates and Scots raiders. It's only half a mile from the coast of Morecambe Bay. Only famous for those cockle pickers from years ago. Do you remember the disaster that was Morecambe Bay? Happy birthday today to Cherie Blair. Producer was having a guess at how old you thought she was. 66-year-old, she's 68. 68. Also, September the 23rd, 1992, the Pope has put tax dodging and passing false checks on a list of sins that risk eternal damnation. Got a bit dramatic, I'm afraid. Drunk drivers and people who fiddle their expensive, read horoscopes, or who bet on dogs or horses are also sinners. He's ruled in the first major revision of Roman Catholic guidelines in 400 years. Tax dodging and false checks. Well, looky here. Looky here. Look to your own doorstep. Look to your own doorstep. 7:15. The latest LBC News headlines with Simon Conway.
In 2 miles, at junction 6, take the A355 exit to Slough Central.
Occupied areas of Ukraine are holding referendums on becoming part of Russia, dismissed by the West as a sham. And a third of private renters in England say they're constantly struggling to pay their landlord. LBC weather, outbreaks of rain in the southeast and East Anglia, sunny spells elsewhere, a high of 21 degrees.
LBC travel, I'm Joanne Webb. In Walthamstow, Hoe Street stays closed in both directions, and that's following an accident. It's closed at the junction with Albert Road. It was involving 2 buses, so it looks like the road will be closed for some time. Also still closed is the A31 Hogsback just south of Guildford. It's closed between the A3 and Puttenham, and that's after a serious accident, and that's definitely going to be closed for a number of hours yet. Very busy on the New Kent Road westbound, heading up towards the Elephant and Castle, and on the underground 9L station on the Northern Line is closed. That's because of a shortage of staff. And on the trains, Great Northern services still can't run between Stevenage and Hertford North because of these ongoing problems with the overhead wires.
LBC.
The best thing about Friday, you're on Friday rules. Right. Monday and Tuesday rules, well, they're strict. That's a no fun zone. Yeah. On Wednesday, you can have a treat, but you have to admit that you've been naughty. Yeah. The Thursday rule is wait for it. Then it's Friday. Treat day. Go for it. At Costa Coffee, we're treating our Costa Club members to a new deal every Friday, because Fridays
quarter of a mile, at junction 6, take the A355 exit to Slough Central.
.uk by midnight this Sunday, and next week I could be knocking on your door. Because one person is guaranteed to win our fully furnished house on the Kent coast, worth £2.5 million. Last month we changed the lives of Uttam Palmer and his family.
Exit at junction 6.
This is what dreams are made of.
We're really set for life.
You could be next. And the best part? You'll be supporting Global's...
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Tons Lane, A355.
worth £2.5 million. You must enter by midnight this Sunday. So do something amazing. Visit omaze.co.uk now. That's omaze.co.uk. Over 18s only, no purchase necessary. Conditions apply.
Yes, I'm looking for help with spending less on my mobile bills.
Please hold. Hey, you see the game last night, mate? Oh, mad one.
Hello? I can still hear you.
Network driving you crackers? We're here to help. At Tesco Mobile, we'll help you spend less with club card points on every bill. This is Supermarket Mobile. Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. Club card holders only. One club card point for every £1 spent on your Tesco Mobile bill. Tesco Club Card Scheme terms and conditions apply.
What to tackle first? Raging inflation, lower taxation, Putin's invasion, or Carrie's decoration? If you want clarity about what matters, try The Week magazine. Skillfully edited from over 200 UK and global news sources, enjoy a balanced view on politics, business, arts, even property. If gold wallpaper's not your thing, try The Week with 6 issues free, then auto-renews from $38.99 a quarter. Cancel anytime. Search The Week free.
Exit the roundabout onto Tons Lane.
Go on, Craig from Barnet. You'll have more to spend before you know it. And Jen and the kitchen crew from Coventry, those late shifts...
In a quarter of a mile, turn left towards Sippenham Lane.
Yes, Amy. Go on, Kev. You're going to smash it, Eddie. Amir, you legend. John, amazing. Go, Jeff. Do this, Claire. And you, from wherever you are, you've got this. Quit smoking for 28 days. You're 5 times more likely to quit for good. For free support, search Stoptober.
Steve Allen on LBC.
Morning, 10 to 7. No, it's not. It's 11 minutes to 7. Cool, blimey, I've nearly completely ruined my day. Dame Karen Pierce celebrates a birthday today. Dame Karen is our first...
Turn left towards Sippenham
She is
Lane.
now Britain's first female ambassador to America. She counts Donald Trump amongst her fans. Grew up in Lancashire. She says the best advice she was ever given was use charm and conciliation, even when the recipient seems undeserving. What else do we have? Colin Blakely, the actor from Bangor in Northern Ireland.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
1987. And actor Jim Davis. You might remember Jim Davis. You probably won't actually. He played JR's father, Jock Ewing, in Dallas. And you remember that even after he died in real life, they were still having conversations with him on the telephone. Miss Ellie would pick up the phone and go, "Oh, hi, Jock." And you think, no, he's dead. How can he be talking from beyond the grave? But anyway, he was as baffled as to the rest of us over who shot his son, JR. Mr. Davis arrived at Heathrow way back in 1980 and said, "I wish I'd known. I'd pin a medal on his chest. Sometimes I feel like shooting the whole cast. Since JR was shot, we've been driven crazy." And I remember it was Kristen, I think, who actually shot JR. But they brought in the tapes, and there was a big, furore about keeping it hidden, and as if somebody was going to open the boxes and hold it up and sort of try and read the actual film. And it was a big thing. There was no internet, so I mean, normally if it was sort of, oh, do you remember who did so and so, the internet would have it up there before. Stories that we can't even repeat on air because of subjudice and court cases and all sorts of libel and everything else, you can't do. And yet the internet's plastered it all over the place because they've got to find the person, I suppose, who put it there in the beginning. But it is one of those things. I see that there's a new play called Handbagged at the Kiln Theatre in London. I've never heard of the Kiln Theatre, but this is it's about Margaret Thatcher. They seem to have about 4 Margaret Thatchers on stage. But I like the idea of having a new theatre in town. The German Street Theatre goes from strength to strength. They've got Love All, which gets a magnificent 4 stars. which is quite something. You must go to the theatre. Lots of people. There was a lady the other day I was listening to on the radio, and she was saying, I'm a big fan of musicals. They asked her 3 questions about musicals. She didn't know the answer to any of them at all, which was very, very embarrassing. Sunday roast we did earlier on. We'll wait for later on, actually, about the mini budget. I wonder really, I'm hoping it's not going to be the increase for people on their mortgages, but I've got a sneaking feeling there might be some sort of increase. But what people want is they just want sort of a better standard of living. I was talking to my driver this morning, and we were saying, now people are working to pay the bills. And because of the interest rates going up yesterday, I think to the highest ever, wasn't it? I think to the highest. 14 years. I knew there was the number 14 in there. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. Emily's back in Paris. This is Emily in Paris, a French favourite, which I've not. I keep missing all these programmes. They put them up on the television. They say, "Oh, you're watching this one," and I go, "No, not really." And if Mum and Dad watch television with you, boys and girls, that apparently, rather than making you square-eyed and unimaginative, the amount of people used to say that years ago. You watch too much television, square eyes you'll get. And I remember thinking, why would you get square eyes? And they used to say you're sitting too much in front of the television. So our television used to go off. It was a case of we'll have a look through the paper, the Telegraph, and see what's worth watching. And so we would then sort of select. It would almost be like a tick box. If you can watch that program, you're not watching this program. You're not just sitting down there wasting your time. It was considered a waste of time just to sit there and watch television. There you go. We're still checking for rain in Leicester Square. See, we bought a double-fronted terraced house in Hampton Wick for £10,000 in 1972. My parents paid £6,500 for a 4-bedroom house, detached, Tudor style.
In 300 yards, turn left onto Deal Avenue.
A few times actually down in Berkshire, and they paid £6,500. When they sold it for 24,500. I should